Hello, welcome back to another episode of
The Fuzzy Pod.
I'm Megan.
I'm Maddie.
And thanks for being here.
We are your hostesses.
Hostesses with the most.
Hostesses.
Hostess. Oh. I was trying to run with you with that one. I was like, I don't know if that works.
You can't support me.
Wait, we're both rocking a sheer moment here. Maddie has on really cute overalls that are kind of like this abstract design going, and then a sheer purple top underneath
that I stole from my C-store.
It looks really cute. And then
Thank
I have a sheer dress on.
Yeah, the vibe.
I have two moods. Yeah, it's all black.
Yeah.
I have a black choker, a black dress.
Yeah, it's the vibe.
My two moods are like, I'm either like super colorful or like this, just like full like Wednesday Addams.
I mean, sometimes you just got to lean into it, you know?
Yeah, sometimes it's just the mood. Today we're going to be talking about a little series we'll probably come back to here and there called the Popstar Diaries. Once upon a time, your girl was pursuing pop star aspirations. Pop stardom. I always joke about living my Hannah Montana life. So we're going to be talking a little bit about some of those fever dream moments.
Yeah.
In my
was
career.
it real or was it a fever dream?
Was it real? Did it really happen? Did we really do all the things that we're going to be talking about today? Because some of the moments truly do feel like a fever dream. And at this point, we're a long time ago.
Not that long ago, right?
I don't know. I started my pop star dreams when I was 15, so it's been a minute. It's been a hot second. It's been over a decade.
Yeah, it's been almost a decade and a half.
Thank you for that half.
Sorry.
Thank you for that half that you just had to throw in there. Maddie, what's something that gave you the warm fuzzies this week?
Oh, goodness.
The long pause. I always ask you first.
I know. That's what I was going to say. I was to be like, why are you always putting me on blast first? I'm never prepared. Okay, not something. This is something that could give me the warm fuzzies if my beautiful sister takes me. I would love to go to Sonic. That's been on my mind.
Because you don't have Sonics in California. Well, there is like one that
There's
I remember.
Like random ones in random towns that are like an hour and a half away from me.
What are you craving from Sonic? Like, what's your go-to?
Usually like a slush. But I kind of want like almost like a sundae vibe.
Oh, like a banana split too.
Yeah,
do you like banana splits?
I do like banana splits.
A good banana split. Underrated.
So
maybe not underrated.
I mean, I guess that's not really like the warm and fuzzies, but in my heart it's giving me the warm and fuzzies because it could happen.
Yeah.
Is that sad?
No, it's not sad at all.
Okay, cool.
Looking forward to ice cream. Probably mid ice cream, but it's something about it so nostalgic. I'm with you. When it's like also like a warmer
it just feels like a summer day, even though it's like not.
It's something nostalgic about Sonic for us because where we grew up, they were everywhere. And in the summer, it was like the vibe to go get like a slushie, especially the half off.
Yeah, the slushie or just like an extra large root beer that's absolutely unnecessary.
With the crunchy ice?
With the crunchy ice, yeah.
They have the nugget ice there. It's
yeah.
so good. Sonic ice just, I just did a chef's kiss. That's what that smoochy sound was.
I did have a really good Thai tea the other day, though. That was, I don't know why I thought it, because it has like the
It had the nugget ice in it?
Yeah.
Oh. See, nugget ice just takes any regular drink and just
it just elevates
brings it up a level.
Yeah. There's something about it, but what gave you the warm fuzzies?
Something that gave me the warm fuzzies recently was I convinced my husband and you and my brother-in-law to all join me outside to watch the sunset.
Oh, that is facts. Ted did sit and poo.
So it wasn't warm and fuzzy for him. I got a picnic blanket out and I laid it in the grass and I didn't pay attention that there was dog poop underneath it. So technically he didn't fully sit in it.
Like 4 dogs running around, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah. But we didn't smell it when we were sitting there.
No, it didn't smell.
When we were watching the sunset.
We were just enjoying the sunset.
And I picked up the blanket and he had been sitting in
the way, and the way like sitting outside in the backyard, like just made me nostalgic for like sitting on our trampoline when we were growing up
Yeah,
Like
something about that.
Yeah.
Gave you the warm fuzzies.
Yeah. Like it felt like the same energy.
You know what?
Trampoline talks.
Yes. The perfect combo would have been watching the sunset with a Sonic.
With Sonic.
Drink.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Is that the plan?
But yeah, that was my warm and fuzzies.
That's a good one. That was a good moment.
So I guess we should go ahead and dive in because we're going to have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
I think I should give a little backstory on myself first, just for some context.
Ooh, what you wearing? Why?
Get more into the who of me. So when I was 15, I started to pursue music. And while I was doing that, I started a YouTube channel.
Yeah, the YouTube channel.
That ended up becoming like a YouTube career.
Yeah, launched you.
I kind of went on there like little baby Megan just as another way to share covers because at the time I was playing a lot of like local gigs.
Yeah.
Which you went with me to a lot of those.
Yeah.
Like playing open mic nights like wherever we could.
Mm-hmm.
And these like dive bars that like any other night I would not be allowed to be in. And playing at restaurants and wine bars, again, other places I wasn't old enough to be in.
Remember the wine bar? The wine bar that paid us or paid you in like those good waters? Like,
yeah, they paid me in fancy water because I was not old enough to consume wine. But they had this really nice like mineral bottled water.
I still love that water.
We can give you this as a thank you. Bless you.
My nose had the fuzzies.
Oh no, it's the microphone. We gotta start cleaning them, okay?
I'm like hella allergic to dust.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, why are you apologizing?
There's nothing. I don't know if I need to maybe like de-dust this room.
No, there's literally nothing you could do. There's nothing to be done.
If it, I don't know if not that it helps, but I'm allergic to outside.
Yeah, see, that's the issue. We can honestly
There's no place for us to
we
be.
can't hang out anywhere safe because I should be outside and you should stay inside.
We did a photo shoot together recently where me and Maddie were laying in the grass, and I am very allergic to grass.
Yeah.
And we had to like get the shot within like less than 2 minutes because my back started breaking out.
It'll happen.
Maddie was like, all right, get inside.
Yeah.
But the shot looks really cute.
The shot looks really good, so worth it.
It's worth it. I knew what I was getting myself into. My dad was actually our dad suggested that I started sharing my covers on YouTube. And a long story short, that ended up leading to I should give myself, a little more credit, a full-time career in music. I guess we'll go ahead and talk about when I released my first original song.
Yeah, it's a good place to start.
The first original song I ever released was called BEA Beautiful. And the day I released that song, I don't know if you remember this, was our last day like living in Texas, or like last week. We were having a going away party / my new song is out kind of like little gathering at our house before our whole family was actually about to move to California for my dad's job.
Mm-hmm.
We were all gonna be moving to the Bay Area. That song came out, and within that week, it was like a whirlwind because that song came out at a time where YouTube, like the front page, used to look so different.
Yeah.
From how it is now, because
it's completely different.
If you open up like the YouTube app, it's going to be like showing like things that are recommended for you like based on the
things
algorithm
that you're already like like consuming. Or
but back in the day, it was like the front page used to be a place where they would showcase like the top 5 most liked videos, most commented on, most viewed in the last 24 hours. So if you like got on like that homepage, like thought that was like a big deal. And my song was like in like the number 1 spot on a lot of those categories.
A lot of the categories, yeah.
It was like so crazy, which was then bringing more eyeballs to it. So it had like quite a few millions of views within like the first like 24 hours. And so that was like back in like 2012, I believe. That got the attention of a lot of labels wanted in on that, you know?
Yeah.
So that happened now with like a TikTok song blowing up, and they're like, hello.
They're like, hi.
We are interested.
We'd like to make money off you now.
Yeah, we'd like to have a piece of that pie, please, and thank you. It was a whirlwind of a week. So before we even moved to California, we were getting a call from a label that we were going to meet with in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And so you, me, and mom were all going to go together because I wasn't even like 18 at the time. I was like 17 maybe.
Probably, yeah.
And I still wanted to travel with my crew, which was my mom and sister. And we were all going to go out to New York. And then we are on the way to the airport.
We were at the airport, like
checking in basically. And they call us and they're like, hey, actually, we want you to meet in Miami now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to change your flight. Just like hold off for a second. So I think we went back to the house. And then
did we? I thought we were still at the airport.
Or did we just stay at the airport?
We were still in the airport and they like switched our flights like
Maybe
that.
we did just stay at the airport.
Yeah,
I thought we went home and slept for a few hours and got up the next morning.
You have a better memory than me. I thought it was same day. In my mind.
It was, again, whirlwind. So at some point, they changed the flight within
24
hours. We're getting on a flight now to Miami. And meanwhile, our whole house in Texas has been packed up. And Dad and the moving company, they're all making their way to California while me, Mom, and Maddie are going to Miami.
With our dogs.
With
Chloe and Sissy.
We took the dogs?
No, I'm saying the dad had our dogs.
Oh, yeah. I was like, sorry.
Please.
We did not have our
we
dogs.
travel everywhere with our Yorkies. Our teacup Yorkies.
So Mom, Maddie, and me. The correct grammar, or people are going to come for me. Mom, Maddie, and I. No. Maddie, Mom, and I.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So myself, my mom, and my sister are all heading down to Miami to meet with P Diddy.
Puffy
at the time.
Mm-hmm.
P Diddy was going by Puffy at the time. Little like teenage me who was just like very, very clean, doing basically like the Kids Bops versions of every single song that I covered because I would take out the swear words.
Yeah.
His meeting with the head of Bad Boy Records.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is happening right now? So at the time they were doing like a merger with Interscope Records, who was like, had a lot of massive pop artists, and like, that's what I wanted to be. So they were wanting me to be like the first, like one of the first pop artists on their labels for Bad Boy 2.0.
Yeah.
Is what they were referring to it as the time. So we get down to Miami and we get checked into the hotel. They put us up at like this really
us up
fancy.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna say it was a Ritz.
It was a Ritz-Carlton. At the top, we were like in this big suite overseeing the ocean in Miami. And
we were like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
This is not the experiences we're used to.
They're really trying to like, what's the word? Butter us up. They're like, we want to work with Megan, so we're going to put you in this nice hotel. That night we go to dinner. We're meeting with one of the executives over at the label, and we're talking, and he's like, yeah, so tomorrow we're going to go over to Puffy's house, and this is what's going to go down, blah, blah, blah. And he just casually kind of asked, like, hey, by the way, what's your favorite food? And I was like, I don't know. The first thing that came to my mind, I was like, fajitas. I'm from Texas. I love me some Tex-Mex. And then he proceeds to go, all right, we're going to have Puffy's personal chef make you fajitas tomorrow. I was like, wait, can I change my answer?
Wait a second.
Wait a second.
Hold up.
I've never had lobster before. Can we try that out? Maybe some
sushi.
Some sushi sounds really good. I don't know if I want fajitas. So we're like, oh, okay, cool. So the next morning we wake up. Do you remember any of this? Like, because I know you were saying like some of it's kind of fuzzy, but do you remember like when we arrived to his house, the first thing that we did?
No, I remember this. I was just I was just letting you go with it.
The first thing that we did whenever we got to Puffy's house, which by the way was like felt like a resort.
It was insane. They like brought us out to like the backyard area. And it literally looked like a resort.
Oh, just like rows of like lounge chairs by the pool. And I was like with towels already like prepared on them. And I was like,
the rolled towels.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. Before we could step foot into the house, we had to remove our shoes.
Put on slippers.
And got complimentary slippers.
Yeah.
They literally handed us slippers to put on. And I was like, oh my gosh. But honestly, they were pretty cozy. I was like, wait, can we keep these?
They were pretty cozy, but also ruined our vibes because the shoes kind of make an outfit. But
they do. We had,
but I
respect
really cute
it.
Heels. I respect it. You know.
So we took off our heels. We put on the complimentary slippers. We walk into Puffy's house because that's what P Diddy was going by half the time. That was the era that he was in. We walk into the house, and what do we hear playing on the loudspeakers in his house? But my voice. I was like just melting inside. I was like, this is so cringe. Like hearing my
all your covers.
really bad like acoustic covers, just the audio like just ripped from like YouTube. Like these are just me sitting in my room singing live. Like it's a little bit pitchy because your girl's just singing it in one take. Like I was like, it's not mixed or anything. And I'm just like, oh God, please make it stop. And he's like, you see what we got going here? And I'm like, yeah, can we make it stop, please? But thankfully, once we started like sitting down to talk, the music stopped. But I don't know if you remember this too. We're sitting there, we're talking, and he's like, okay, what are you like wanting? What are you looking for? And I'm like, basically just like looking for like, I don't know, like a partner that, believes in me and wants to, allows me to share my voice and create the things I want to and wants to help take it to the next level. We're sitting there talking about these things. Like, oh, by the way, I want to hear you play something live. And I was like, sure, no problem. I don't have an instrument. You want me to like sing a cappella? He's like, no, go to the piano. And I was like, all right. This piano has not been touched or tuned in like so long, I'm assuming. It was the most out of tune piano. And I'm sitting there like, how am I gonna make this sound good? I'm just playing. Do you remember it? Like thinking it was like, oh, you're sitting there like, I'm like, okay, here we go. I literally think I played like a cover of like Secrets by One Republic because that was probably like popular at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like just like making it work, and I'm like, I need another. And it's like the piano's like, beep, beep.
Please. You're like, I'll just sing a cappella.
But then we ate some fajitas, and then the next week, we were being flown out to New York for real this time to have a second
actually went
meeting.
through.
Yeah, actually, this time we didn't get the flight canceled. We went to New York and met with Diddy again and the head of Interscope at the time, which was Jimmy Iovine. Which is like, this is, okay, first of all, that was, I guess, fever dream moment number one, like going to P Diddy's house. What? And wearing the slippers. What? But like fever dream moment number two was being in the same room as like both these people at the same time and being like, they're meeting with me. But also like good on like little Megan's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like mindset going into it. Because I was just kind of like, okay, like, not in the.
There wasn't like pressure.
Like, no, I was like, what can you
There's
do
nothing
for me? Like, what are we gonna do here? Like, to get, like, I'm not like, please,
please sign me. Like, please sign me. I'm desperate. Like, you were like, I only want to like pursue something that is going to benefit me. Like, I'm not interested in just. I mean,
that's what the way they're looking at it, you know?
Like, I'm not just trying to be like, oh, thank goodness I got signed. Like, whatever you say.
You saved
like,
me, yeah. And I think like a lot of people like realize that now. Like, too, like labels aren't necessarily gonna be like saving you. All I had to say, I was like definitely going with the mindset. Like, I wasn't like, I was not like desperate, I guess is the word. But I was also like very aware, like, oh, that's like not something that happens every day.
Yeah.
You know, like being flown out to like meet with these people, like them taking time out of their schedule, whatever, you know. And basically after that second meeting, oh my gosh, how did I forget? I was so sick. Do you remember this?
I do remember,
and they still wanted to meet. Okay, so we get to New York, and I'm like coming off of like a cold, I think. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to sing. Like, but I'm like, I'll be okay. I'm like getting on like the tail end of it. But this is so gross. Okay, if you get really grossed out by like bodily fluid stuff, like just skip like 30 seconds. It won't be that long. I had so much like sinus
pressure
and drainage. We were in the back of a taxi, and I don't even know where the plastic bag came from, but thank God I had one. I started vomiting into the bag on the way to the meeting. And it had nothing to do with like nerves or anything. I literally just had that much gunk in my system that it was like
had to
my
come
body
out.
had to get it out. It was like, ugh. awful, awful, awful. So I think I like managed to like go brush my teeth, clean up, and I'm in there and I'm like trying to warm up and practice. And the VP of Bad Boys there that we had the initial meeting with, and his face is looking a little concerned because nothing's coming out of my voice. I'm barely squeaking the words out. I have an in-tune piano now, but nothing's really coming out of my voice. I don't know how. By the grace of God, I managed to like actually sing.
Yeah.
Whenever it came time to perform for them again. I was like, how in the world? Nothing was coming out of my voice. It's so funny too now because like I don't know if it's like just like post-pandemic now, but like please, like if I was like coughing even a little bit, like I wouldn't go near anyone. Meanwhile, all the way to the meeting, oh, so awful. Oh. But yeah, so I guess it went well because then within like the next like week, I was signed. We were drawing up paperwork, and our stuff had made it to California, and we basically like somewhere in between there, we basically just like flew out to the Bay. I feel like from New York. Like I feel like we were just kind of floating around that week.
Yeah.
Flew to the Bay, and that was our first time in the California, really. I think we'd been like once before, and this was like our new home.
Yeah.
So now we're living in California, and somewhere in between there,
whirlwind.
after that whirlwind of a week, and I was realizing that we were going to need to like, start working on the album in LA. And so I ended up getting an apartment down in Southern California that I thought I would be in for only 3 months.
Yeah, just to record the album.
Just to record
kind of the idea. Yeah.
Literally had like no furniture at this apartment because, again, I thought I was only going to be there for 3 months. It's insane. We just had like little mattresses on the floor and like a table and chairs.
Yeah.
And it was like, this will be it. And then the next thing I knew, it was like 6 months went by.
Mm-hmm.
And then a year.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get settled now.
Yeah.
And the next thing I knew, like LA was going to be my home for the next, year, like few years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Through that whole pop star journey experience after that, there were a lot of like, fever dream moments. And most of those involved Maddie being there with me. One of the funniest ones I think to look back on is I played this show at the Roxy, and I feel so awful that I don't remember who the opening act was. I will say, it was not like in my defense, but it was like a one-off thing. It wasn't like we were touring together.
Toured with them,
and I like forgot that because that'd be very rude. Oh my gosh, this was like
I think he was like a rapper or something.
I think so, and it was the first time like I met this artist and interacted with them, and then I never had before, didn't again after. But they were like really close friends with King Kylie.
Yeah, she wasn't King Kylie at the time.
No, this was like Kylie Jenner before Kylie Jenner was
Kylie
Jenner.
Yeah.
Like before she was like
obviously she was famous.
Yes. From the Kardashian show.
Yeah, but it was before pre-billionaire. Honestly, I think before she even had like her makeup line.
It was pre all of that. It was like maybe she like just got her lip fillers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was like that era, like the Kylie that we know today, but was backstage at that show.
Mm-hmm.
And like thinking back, I was like, oh, it's like a weird fever dream too. I was like, wait,
because like
King Kylie was at that show.
For reference, this venue, if you're not familiar with it, like if you live in LA, you're probably familiar with it, but it's a very small venue, like very intimate.
400.
Yeah, it's like
people capacity.
Yeah, it's like 400 or 500.
Little club off of Sunset.
Yeah, it's very like well known, but it's just like a small little like club. And so like the backstage is like very small too.
Very small, very dingy, very
dingy.
dark. It's just like posters and stickers on the wall. The floor is a little sticky.
Yeah, and we're just like going up the stairs and we're like, oh, like
we're like, hello,
Kylie.
How's it going, King Kylie?
Yeah. So she was definitely like there.
Had like probably like a 5-second conversation.
Yeah.
Almost just like talking like, hey, hello. How's it going? Nice to see you. Enjoy the show.
Bye.
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know if Kylie saw any of my set at all. They probably all bounced after that, like, after her friend was done. But
I'm pretty sure we ran into them after the show. Like I remember it was like after, because I'm pretty sure she like went up there when the show was over.
Well,
Everyone
sure
was
if it was
clearing
after the set,
out.
but
yeah.
So you know what? I'll choose to believe that version.
Me with my
Kylie Jenner
shot
was
memory
at my show,
literally
the
making
entire
things up.
set.
But no, it was funny. We were just like, that's so random, like
so random,
and also really sad that we don't even remember who the guy was that she was like friends with.
Honestly, awful. But like I said, I think it would be like way worse if it was like, this was an artist I spent a lot of time with touring, and I don't even remember their name.
Like, I think they had just set it up. Like
I don't even.
I don't even know.
May age, I don't even know.
There's probably so many people that you've done shows with that like
don't remember.
Yeah, that would be like,
that's great.
Yeah, we had some like random person,
or like festivals.
Yeah,
where there's like so many artists.
There's so many people.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's fine.
Okay. I'm not totally a terrible person. Fever dream moment number 3. Where I guess we maybe don't need to number these.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going through the fever dream moments. Another one was one of my favorite stories, and I low-key want to like, I don't know if we should call mom and like involve her so she could talk about it, but I guess, we can just kind of share a little bit of her side of it, because
if she ever wants to say her piece, she can
come on the
pod.
So to paint the picture, we're at a charity event for this local charity in Los Angeles. It's a bowling charity event, and we've been spending the evening hanging out, bowling, raising money for a good organization. And my mom, it's always the 3 of us. It was like you, me, and mom. We're there together, and probably some other people. But at this point, it was just you, me, and mom hanging out. And mom's like, I'm going to go out to the valet and get the car. And pull it around. And I'll meet you guys up front. We're like, great. So anyways, mom goes to get the car. And time has passed, and we end up, getting in the car with mom. And she's like, oh, my gosh. The craziest thing was just going on out here.
She's like, sorry it took so long.
Yeah.
Like,
there was like, this guy was like getting in a heated argument with the valet over like $5. This man just kept saying, I paid you already. It was getting like heated fast. She said, I was standing there trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And she said, I'm sitting there thinking like, I got $5 in my pocket. Like, I'll just give him,
pay it. And so we can all get out of here, because he's holding it up.
He's holding this guy. He's holding up the entire line
of people.
And
yeah. Because it's like the event was like ending. So like a bunch of people are out there trying to get their cars. So.
And they're waiting. And this, I guess this situation was going on where this person did not want to like pay up. And so, and
we're also, like, wow, that's crazy, mom. Like, she's telling us this like after.
Well, also I just want to say that mom is like the sweetest person ever too. Like she would want to like offer to pay.
Like when she said like she was offering to pay, it was like, well, I guess maybe he doesn't have the money. So like
that's like her mindset. It wasn't. That's more her mindset than even like
I want to get out of here.
Yeah. She's like, this man doesn't have money or something. Like, so she's literally about to like pay this man's valet, and it ends up like de-escalating. I guess, I don't know. So my mom gets her car. She's telling us this whole story. The next day, we see, I don't know where we see it, but it's like all over like Twitter, and that TMZ spotted Chris Brown at a valet line at a bowling charity event, getting into a fight
with the
getting
valet,
into an argument with the valet. And when we connected, we're like, Mom, we showed her, Mom, is this the guy?
And she was like, oh yeah, that's him.
I was like, Mom, that's Chris Brown.
Please.
She had no clue who he was. She had no clue. She was literally about to pay this man's valet
She was literally
fee.
About to be like, excuse me, Chris Brown, I'll go ahead and pay your $5.
There's some universe where she did pay that, and I just want to know how that went down.
How it shaked out.
Yeah. Like, would everyone be too stunned to speak? Like, because mom just would have no idea. And that happened a couple times where mom like had no idea who someone was. And it's just so funny. There was another time I was at this event where a bunch of labels would come in and kind of present their new artists to like a room of writers. And so I was there. I had to meet Diddy and some of the other artists from the label at the time outside of the hotel so we could all walk in together as a crew. Yeah, that was the vibe. They're like, we're all going to be pictured walking in together, like Bad Boy 2.0. So here I am in my, oh my gosh, do you remember that dress I would wear to literally everything. I thought I was serving. It was a white eyelet. I think that's what you call like kind of the like a
applique.
Yeah, not it was a white halter dress. I think you call it eyelet, that material.
I know what you're talking about. Like it has like holes.
Yes. This white eyelet like sundress that was halter, and it was like kind of corsety topped. And then I had these like big chunky like brown like
there you go
kind of clog shoes.
Yeah,
I thought I was serving, and maybe I was, but I don't think it was.
Let's pull up the images.
See if I have any like photo evidence of this. Oh gosh. But we're at this event, and then afterwards, like they play some of the artists' music and little clippets, and some of the writers I was like talking to in the room, and mom's kind of just standing like just kind of around an earshot. Yeah. I'm talking to this one person, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm in. You may have heard of some of my music before. I'm in 303." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like I love y'all stuff, like blah blah blah, like love your music, You know that band, right? Yeah. Like don't just we can't. Of course I do on the pod. But yeah, I was talking to this guy that was like a part of 303, and then after that conversation, I'm stepping away, and our sweet, very concerned mom looks at me and goes, "Why was that man telling you his hotel room number?" And I said, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, he said I'm in 303." Because this event was happening at a hotel. I forgot that detail. This event was happening at like a what's it called? A conference room at a hotel.
Like a ballroom.
Yeah, ballroom at a hotel. And so mom was like, "Why was that man telling you his room number?" I was like, "No, mom, 303 is
Please.
I'm in 303. No clue.
Just slides you a key. I'm in 303.
That's what mom thought was happening because she was like looking out for me. I was like, no, that is not what that interaction was at all. They were just complimenting the music and wanting to work together. And I was just like, this is so funny. So
that's hilarious.
I love that mom would be at all these things and have no idea who anyone was. Like,
yeah.
I don't think we've ever asked her, but I don't even know if she would have recognized like Kylie Jenner at that show either.
Oh, definitely not. Mom doesn't watch like any TV, especially back then. Like, definitely not. Maybe now. No, definitely not. No. Definitely not. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of charity events, that same organization in LA was doing putting on this other event. It was like a daytime event that Cooper and I went to, and we sang a song at. And this is just like a quick little funny story. This was like many, many years ago. And I was probably in my early 20s, but Jenna Ortega was like kind of like on the scene for like the Disney show that she was in.
Yeah.
And was at the event. And so usually after like if there's like a carpet, like a red carpet at an event, or photos are taken, you can usually find them like on like Getty Images afterwards if you like search your name. Sometimes, not sometimes, every time a photo was taken of me, I would go do that because I was concerned. Of like, what was I doing? Honestly, I probably should have just like not worried about it.
Just don't look.
Like, did I have something in my hair? So for every little thing. So anyways, what I thought was so funny is like people say that we kind of like look alike, even though we're like 10 years apart. And like, just again, I was in my early 20s, and that would have made her like a child. There were photos of her tagged as me.
Please.
At that event. And I'm like, please. They just saw like two like Latina girls that look kind of similar.
And they're like, same thing.
They're like, Jenna is Megan. Okay, got it.
Got it. Done.
I'm like, I don't know how that would like, because usually there's like, at like not necessarily like a charity event, but like at other like award shows, they like you have like a PR person like holding a sign with your name on it.
They know.
They're like, this person's coming through. This person's coming through. Like,
so then that way, like if you ever see like a red carpet when they're like yelling their names and stuff like that, like the people are taking the pictures, it's because someone's holding a sign to make sure that they're saying the right name.
Like, this is who this is.
Yeah.
And so literally, because I don't know, I was like, usually they have that, so it got mixed up. And I just thought that was really funny because now, like 10 years later, sometimes when Wednesday was like really popular, people were like, you kind of look similar. And I was like, I guess so, because at one point
we got mixed up.
We got mixed up when I was in my early 20s and she was like 14.
Crazy. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
That was another like weird fever dream moment. Do you have any that stick out to you? Besides, like, I mean, obviously, like the Kylie thing. Like,
obviously the Kylie thing.
Obviously, that's what we're gonna call this. That's what we're gonna title this.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like there's just like plenty of like little moments, but I don't really. My memory is shot.
Wango Tango. Not remember this?
Oh, you want me to talk about this?
I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny.
Okay. I don't feel like it's a fever dream.
It's not a fever dream?
No.
Okay. Well, now he's
it's also because he's icky. Yeah. Why are you talking about this man so much? Okay, Adam Levine. I'll just say his name so you guys know. We were at, Wango Tango, like backstage. Why were we?
I have no idea why we were backstage. I don't even know.
Please.
We weren't even like, we didn't even know anyone performing.
No.
I think because we were hanging out with my manager. I don't even know. And we
whatever. Okay, we were
doesn't
there.
Matter.
And I don't know if I was like on my phone or something, but you had like gotten ahead of me. And I'm lost.
Yeah.
I was like trying to catch up and I just like was like, oh, I gotta go. Like, I don't want to get lost. And I was like walking really fast and I like literally bumped into Adam Levine. And I just was like I noticed his tattoos at first because I'm.
And you were like
tiny.
14 at the time or something? Probably 14, 15. 15.
How old do you think I am?
How old was I?
Because I turned 16 whenever we moved to California.
Never mind. You were like 18.
Yeah.
Queen, go off. Sorry.
You were like 12 at the time.
You were like 11.
You were like 6. No, what was I telling you the other day? I was like, I feel like for all your stories, you're like, I was 10.
Because I literally was.
I'm like, I don't think you were. Like, I don't think at the age of 10 was your most eventful year.
2004 and 2005, I'm telling you. 10 was a big year.
Yeah, no, I was definitely like probably at least 18. Because by that point, it was like far like along in your career. Because I was pretty sure that I was like living with you in LA like full time at that point. So anyways, so I like literally bumped into him and I was just like looked up and I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
He's like, on your way to stage, go, okay.
Bye.
But what's so funny, like the reason I brought that story up too, is it kind of like low-key became a theme. Because that wasn't the first time you weren't paying attention and literally almost
bumped into someone. Someone saved me from myself. I still do that, except for now because I'm not going to events with you anymore. Like we don't do that kind of stuff anymore. No. So I'm not bumping into like people that are fun to bump into. I'm running into signs. I'm running into poles. I'm tripping. I'm falling.
It was another, what was that big radio station in LA? 102.7, because they do Wango Tango.
We were Kiss, no?
Yeah, Jingle Ball.
Yeah, that's Kiss puts on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We were at Jingle Ball, and you ran into, do you not remember this?
The other Jenner?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kendall Jenner. I ran into Kendall Jenner.
Literally, you came back and you were like, I almost knocked this girl over.
I literally almost knocked Kendall Jenner on her bootay.
I was like, please, you need to pay attention to where
Megan was so embarrassed by me, honestly. Like, I feel like there was so many moments where you're like, oh my God, like, please. Now I feel like you wouldn't care. Now I feel like you'd be like, oh my God, that's hilarious. But back then you're like, oh my God, what if they know that you're my sister?
Please. They don't have no clue who I am. No clue.
Which is fair. I mean, like, you were running in circles with, some people, so I feel like I understand. But
I was like, please, you're gonna, you just crash land into, the wrong person one day and then...
Or the right one.
Literally married. Literally married. Her husband's in the room right now.
I did fall into the arms of the right one. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, so I clearly need to stop running into people, though. And I'd like to formally apologize to Kendall Jenner. And I'm pretty sure, low-key, I, ran into Kylie as well, on the stairs, kind of, bumped into her,
So knocking everyone over.
So I should formally apologize to both of them. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's about it for the Popstar Diaries for
today.
Now.
Stay tuned. ...
Because we got lots of stories from
that was just a little taste. That was just the beginning.
Yes, because we have a lot of just oh my gosh, just 10 years of just weird interactions while becoming a pop star. What?
I'm sorry.
My lipstick in my heat or something?
No, the way that you were like, it looked like you were about to sing.
Oh, please. Yeah. Oh.
Please.
We have plenty of stories from the Popstar Diaries to come, and I'm sure we'll share more in the future.
Sure.
But for now,
if you earn it.
But for now, we want to introduce a new segment that
Yes.
Maddie came up with that I'm really excited about.
Yeah. So this segment that we'll sprinkle in throughout our episodes here and there is called Fuzzy Thoughts. As we've learned today, I am often in my own head because I'm bumping into people all the time apparently and don't know how to walk. And I feel like I have a lot of random thoughts, a lot of things that I say. I'm a very inquisitive person to ask a lot of questions. I'll think random things and expect other people to have the answers. So I just thought it'd be fun for us to write down some of those random shower thoughts, things that you think when you're watching a show or whatever, and talk about them. So
I love that. Do you want to start first? Since you are the
I have
creator,
lots.
And I feel like you have more probably than me at this current time.
Something that I don't know if it's still a thing, but that I've noticed that I feel like I need to talk to somebody about is these weird thirst trap pottery boys on TikTok. Have you seen these? This is a fuzzy thought for me because I'm this is so random.
I'm the algorithm doesn't lie. It knows what you want.
No, I'm literally crying, sweating. But the algorithm, this is my hot take. This is my fuzzy thought. The algorithm, I don't think it actually does know what we want. I think it's trying to convince us what we know, what we what they think we want.
And then sometimes it gets it right, and other times it doesn't.
I feel like they're trying to say, no, this is what you want, because they keep pushing it.
Also, think about this. Whoever you share, you have your IP address.
Yeah.
So whoever else is on it,
yeah,
whatever they're looking up.
So Ted,
maybe your husband.
My husband is looking at these sexy pottery boys and their aprons with no shirts on.
And it's this is the
hitting their pottery,
so
slapping it.
If something ever comes up, just think someone was on my Wi-Fi. It looked something up.
Effing up my algorithm.
Yeah, it's not me.
Because that was happening. And I'm on Bike Talk.
Bike Talk?
Hello?
When's the last time you rode a bike?
5 years. Why am I on Bike Talk? So anyways, my fuzzy thought is be better algorithms.
You can press not interested. Sometimes it works,
what?
I think. Yeah, you hold down on the video. And I'll show you. I'll show you after the pod. You can press.
Do you
anytime
think
I get something that's not something I want to see.
Oh, okay.
Because I will say I'm laughing, but I've gotten the occasional it's this thirst trap comes up. I'm oh,
that's not what I'm looking for.
That's not what I'm looking for. Also no, not interested.
But do you think if by me liking it, it's causing more to come up? I'm just kidding.
So wait, hearting it doesn't make it go away.
Doesn't say thank you for this. Bye.
Yeah, it means I want more.
That doesn't add up.
Not thank you for goodbye.
But with that fuzzy thought, I also want to take a pottery class. But I don't know because I always have long nails.
I almost
if
took
that
one.
would work.
I almost took one.
I want to do it.
There's some free community ones.
What?
Not free.
Oh, I was like,
but I realized our public libraries and stuff like that. I was looking when I got signed up for a library card. There's all these events that you can go to and do things.
Wow.
Yeah. But I saw pottery classes last summer, and it was $20 or maybe less a person.
That's not bad.
No,
that's not bad.
So,
because I also in my mind, I was gonna take a pottery class and learn how to make us cute mugs for the fuzzy pod.
Oh,
but
and we could paint them.
Yeah,
I like that. We could just go paint some.
Yeah.
No, but I want you to. If that's something you want to do, I support you in that. Yeah. My fuzzy thought. Okay, so sometimes when I'm just laying in bed and I can't sleep, this is one of my types of existential crisis.
It's a recurring
that I'll have. It's a recurring one where I'll just suddenly realize that I am just a walking, talking meat sack and that everyone is a walking, talking
How does it work?
sack of meat. And I'm like,
we're so fragile.
We're bones. We're bones and meat, but we feel and we think and we speak. And
for sure.
Yeah, we are on a spinning rock.
But let me ask you this. Do you think that the caterpillar you stepped on the other day and crunched also felt that way?
That literally hurt my stomach just now. Okay, this is like the irony of all ironies.
Oh my God, it was hilarious.
We were on a walk and there was like a little worm on the sidewalk.
And there's a bunch of dead ones around.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna get scorched. So I picked him up and I like kind of found a place in the shade and I kind of was like, go back in the dirt. Like, don't get...
Save yourself.
Let's not get like dried out by the sun. I don't know. It feels good to do. I was like, let me just help this little wormy out. And then we're like walking and I just hear
we all hear
5 minutes later this massive like
like it sounded like you stepped on a branch kind of.
And I realized that I stepped on a caterpillar.
I think it was poisonous.
In my shoe. Just like it just exploded on the spot. I was like
I'm crying.
Or like the circle of life. I was like, please. I saved the one worm. But then in return, I crunched on a caterpillar I didn't see. Please.
See a need, fill a need.
We're all meat.
We're all meat.
Anyways.
I mean, we're more than that.
Water.
Mostly water, actually. If that makes you feel any better. You're mostly water.
Water. And meat. Oh, God. Okay. Well, I'm going to drink more water because that's something I'm not very good at doing.
That's another fuzzy thought. I sometimes think about, like, how am I still living when I've only had a single glass of water today?
I'll do that, too. It's terrible. I'll have, like, maybe, like, a midday coffee.
Yeah.
I need to drink water the first thing when I wake up. I want to be one of those girlies.
It could not be me.
Wakes up and drinks her hot lemon water.
No.
At, like, 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then goes for their walk. It works. There's something to this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's science, yeah.
It's science. It's fact.
That we choose to ignore.
I make my bed, though, so... But I'm dehydrated.
Is that helping you as a meat sack?
We take some wins, you know? We can take the little wins.
Is you making your bed helping you function as a meat sack?
Yeah, it does help me function. It helps this meat sack walk around with a little more confidence that she got something done that day. She made her bed. She was productive.
Please.
Dehydrated.
But productive.
And
that's all we ask for. So stay dehydrated and stay productive. And listen to the Fuzzy Pod.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out again. Episode 5. You're still here. Wow.
We're still here.
We're still here. Wow. Well, anyways, subscribe, comment, and like this video. Or
yeah. Leave a comment. What are your fuzzy thoughts?
And we'll see you again next week. Next Fuzzy Friday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
We're meat. We're sacks of meat. Oh my God.